welcome to Art and Stage Talk Radio. Loved that video. It was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed it as well. This is Heidi Hardy, and Art and Stage Radio is brought to you by the Dance Council of North Texas. And my fabulous co-host, Tracy Jordan, is in the house, and we're going to give the mic over to Tracy so he can thank our sponsors.
How you doing, Heidi? It's good to be here with you tonight. We've got a great show in store for everyone, and we would like to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsors. We have I'm sorry. Let me just clue back in for a minute. Yes, we're talking about our sponsors this evening for our show, Art and Stage. We have Park Place Volvo, and Dance Sport Training Center, and the Danielle Georgiou Dance Group. And we'll be talking to you about each of them more as we get into the program.
Yes, we will. Let's go ahead and give Park Place that plug.
Sure. If you want the perfect car for your family with plenty of power, outstanding safety, and state-of-the-art technology, not to mention dashing good looks. In other words, if you want the total package, and believe me, no car gives it to you like Volvo, especially when you get it at Park Place Volvo during their Wonder of Winter Sales event. Now, whether you're headed home for the holidays or off on a wintry adventure, hit the road in a brand new Volvo. For a limited time, you can get 3 months payments on us whenever you purchase or lease a new Volvo. It's our way of wishing you happy holidays this year. All eligible models come equipped with standard features like engine remote start and built-in Wi-Fi. And at Park Place, it also comes with one feature that's anything but standard: Volvo Performance in Leadership. So stop by their Dallas location now, or visit parkplace.com during the Volvo Wonder of Winter Sales event. And don't forget, if you walk in and buy a car from them and mention the code 3515DANCE, that's 3515DANCE, they'll donate $100 to the Dance Council of North Texas. So Park Place Volvo, we love you for that. Thank you.
Absolutely. We love our sponsors. Thank you, Park Place. Again, this is Heidi Hardy. Welcome to the show. We're very excited. We have a, really active show today. I'm excited about it. We have Milana Murphy in the house.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to our show and to our
you.
table of love here.
I feel very loved. Thank you.
Good, good. You know, one of the things that we don't do enough of, and somebody mentioned to me last week, is I don't do enough, I guess, introducing you, Tracy. Can you give us some people that may just be turning in?
I'm just kind of shy over here, you know.
The wallflower.
I'm delighted to be here with you, and I am I'm with Dance Council of North Texas. Again, my day job, I work for Dallas Summer Musicals. I run our High School Musical Theater Awards program, and that gives me the opportunity to travel all over North Texas and see. This year I'll be seeing about 75 high school musical productions. And in addition to that, I go see straight plays. I also go see dance productions. I go see symphony concerts. I love the dance and arts scene here in North Texas. And lucky me, my job is I get to immerse myself in that every day of the week.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. You know, one of the things that I got excited about doing the show was I'm the consumer. You know, I'm that person who buys the tickets and who can't wait for the next summer musical series or event that comes to town. So I'm not the dancer, but I'm that person that just is fascinated by you guys. So we have a wonderful mix of great stories here today and information today, and a wonderful event to talk about, Rhythm Infusion Festival.
Yes.
Say that fast.
Rhythm Infusion Festival.
So we're going to get right on to it. Milana, you do a lot of really cool things, and Tracy is going to read the bio that you sent us, but we really want to just kind of understand what drives you and do what you do. Tracy, why don't you go ahead and read the bio for
Well,
Milana.
just to give Milana an introduction to all of our audience out there, she is the founder and producer of Dallas's premier tap festival, the Rhythm Infusion Festival, and I'm not going to say it as fast as she did. But its initials, RIF, also happens to be a tap step. Clever, don't you think? Isn't that clever? So, in its inaugural year, it hosted some of America's top talent and guest artists, and it has since grown into the international success of hosting and celebrating tap dancers from all across the United States and Mexico. She also produces tap concerts, student showcases, and tap history seminars. She's the director of Next Step Dance in Frisco, Texas, and Milana has had the opportunity to share her love and passion for tap dancing while training and choreographing award-winning dancers and tap works. She began at a very early age, the tender age of 7 years old, and has basically tapped all of her life. She's a graduate of Booker T. Washington Arts Magnet School here in Dallas, and now is on the dance faculty at Booker T. And she is a very busy person.
I need a nap after that.
Well, out of all of those, I guess everything that you're doing, you're really focused right now on the festival. So we're going to go into that, and you can give us all the details about that. But tell us about the beginning when you were 7. What drove you to be a tapper at 7?
Yeah, so I was the basic everyday little girl that wanted to take dance class. So my mom signed me up just like everybody else. Went and took class, and the tap. There was music, there was rhythms, there was movement, there was everything. It clicked. Everything inside me just clicked. It was just the perfect thing. So I took class forever and ever like that. And then when I was 14, I got to audition. There was a show being produced here in Dallas, and it was at the Anatole. Mm-hmm. And one of the choreographers was Gracie Toon, who's the sister of Tommy Toon, 10-time nominee, Tony Award winner. And that was so exciting. And it just kept furthering my drive and my fire for tap dancing.
Oh.
Well, now hang on, back up just a little bit. I want to know what, at the tender young age of 7, do you remember, were there any, I remember my mother used to set me down in the den before, this is the days before cable, and before VCRs, when they had in the summertime the afternoon movie, and she'd say, "Come here, Gene Kelly is about to come on in this movie musical. I want you to watch it," and she kind of helped me get interested in that as a kid in elementary school. I remember. Was there anybody as a young girl that you remember that really caught your attention and fascinated you with what they were doing with their feet?
I was a huge Shirley Temple fan, of course. So I watched all of her movies. I would study her steps, and I can do that. I can do that. But yeah, it was totally Shirley Temple. Yeah. My mom didn't sit me in front of the TV. I'm the last of 5 kids, the only girl. So mom was tired by that time. So I kind of discovered that all on my own. Yeah.
So go ahead. Well, no, I've just, you started, the interest was there. You started with dance. You do other types of dancing.
Yeah, I studied ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary, everything. I did it all. I felt as I got older, I was very fortunate to have a more well-rounded training. Graduating from Booker T, the Performing Arts High School, I got a lot of ballet and modern in me. So to be a performer, to be able to work, that was important to be well-rounded, because when I graduated, there were no tap jobs here in Dallas. Your jobs were at like industrials, so big corporate events. They would hire in entertainers. They did not hire in tap dancers. So it was good that I could do the jazz, the musical theater, and things like that, so that I could work.
Yeah. Well, we talked about that last week, is being able to support yourself as an entertainer and in the art that you love and that you're very passionate about. So you're a teacher as well.
Yes.
And that transition happened what time in your life?
Well, when I was about 15, 16, I started assisting at a local studio that's still around, Top Hat. It's in Louisville. And I got my training there, learned how to be a teacher, and so I've been teaching for decades now. But that's a passion for me. I love to teach. I have such a love for tap dancing that my theory and the way I approach it is that if I can get a child to fall in love with tap dancing, I can teach them any step. So I try to encourage that and that passion. But yeah.
Speaking
now,
of your,
now
well,
hang on, back up a minute.
Yes.
That makes puts another question in my mind, because I remember when I never was interested in teaching, and I fell into it accidentally. My dance teacher that I grew up with, Buster Cooper, he asked me if I would be interested in teaching with him, and really assisting him, like you say, is where I learned to teach, and found that I had a knack for it and a communication skill. But more than that, I discovered that I loved it. So where you say you started assisting when you were 15, did a little light bulb go off there at some point as well, that that you found that you had a love for teaching? Because for me, it's it's two different loves. You have a love for performance, and you also love to share what you love with other people. And I love to watch those light bulb moments go off over other people's heads. You know?
You know, as a teenager, I have to say it was just another opportunity to dance. That love really wasn't there for the teaching. I just wanted to dance, dance, dance. But as time went on, and I saw more and more of those light bulb moments, and I saw that the progression of these kids and the wow, oh my gosh, look after 2 years, look after 3 years. Yeah, then you get hooked. Then you get hooked on that. I agree.
Well, we had a listener last week that sort of, sent me a message and said, "Would it be really interesting if you asked a question about a time where someone as accomplished as you has had maybe some adversity?" So we call it the show must go on question. So is there a time in your life where you loved tap? You knew it was for you. It was what you wanted to do. You were going to make a living at it. You were going to pursue it, but there was adversity. And, tell us about that. I think what again, as the consumer or the person who loves to be a part of these performances and watch them, we're always amazed by the commitment and the passion and the dedication of the performers. And so can you think of a time that might have happened that, man, it was really hard to get back up?
That's a difficult question because I've been very, very fortunate. I would have to say that my adversity happened when I became a mom.
Okay.
And I had to make choices of working and being with my child, that sort of thing. So the difficultness of just being a working parent was the struggle for me. Just finding that balance,
Yeah.
But I really have been very, very fortunate. I
No
just
injuries or nothing.
Where's the wood?
No, not that we want that, but yeah, because
No.
we had a ballerina in here, and she had an injury, and you could tell that was hard.
It is. Yeah, I'm nursing a knee injury. I'm hoping it's nothing, but I'm just kind of ignoring it right now.
That's a typical dancer response.
That's what we do. We just ignore it for a while. But yeah, I mean, my husband and I, we moved up to Kansas City for a few years, and I had to start all over as a dancer, and that was a little frightening because everything here in Dallas was set. I had teaching, I had performing, and then I moved up to Kansas City, and I went, who am I? These people don't know who I am. And so, that was a difficult thing. But my husband at the time produced shows, hair shows. And they were doing a show in Kansas City, and they brought in a choreographer, and I wanted to audition. I hadn't performed in like over a year. And I said, okay, I'm going to audition, but you can't tell the choreographer that I'm your wife. He said, all right. And then I got the job. I was like, yes, I got the job. So that was great, getting back into it that way.
Yeah, I could see how having the reputation and having everything set up in one place and having to move and reestablish yourself. But it sounds like you did that.
Yeah, that was great.
What was the tap scene in Kansas City like?
Not much.
Really?
Much. Yeah. So I taught jazz, I taught ballet, I taught tap. I just, you teach what you can, work what you can. The show that I did was not tap. It was all jazz. It was actually a hip hop dance in heels. So,
Wow.
I know, but
Sounds like fun.
it sounds like fun, but it was good. It was good. So luckily, my husband, was in that business, but we tell a story that. My husband and I, he loves to tell this. He says, the way we met, people say, well, how did y'all meet? And I say, well, he hired me as a dancer. And people go, no. He was producing a show and he actually hired me. So it's fun little story.
You're talking about adversity and having to make those choices. I know what your ultimate resolution to that was, and that was as soon as you could, you taught your kids how to tap dance.
I was just going to ask that question. I was to say, are the kids in this? And we have a couple minutes, so we'll come back and talk about that a little bit more. But just real fast, so the kids.
Yeah, I have 3 children.
Okay.
Both daughters dance. They started dancing as soon as they could stand and walk around. I have pictures of my oldest in tap shoes at 1.5. So they love to tap. They do everything. They love to dance, and my oldest is majoring in dance currently.
What a dream! I mean, when you're so passionate about it, and the kids pick that up, because there's a lot of parents that are very athletic, but the kids aren't. So good for you.
Yeah, it's
Good for
great.
you,
They do.
yeah.
They continue the passion, and they are very talented. I think they're a lot more talented than I ever was. So that's great.
It's always good.
That's
to
always
see it that
good.
way. So before we cut to break, give us a tease about Riff.
It is bringing the best of tap dancing to the feet of Dallas.
Oh, very, very interesting.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back, and we'll talk more about Riff and all the exciting things to come. It's right around the corner,
Yes.
so we'll make sure everybody knows how to get more information and set up. So you're listening to Art and Stage Talk Radio, brought to you by Dance Council of North Texas. This is Heidi Hardy, and we'll be right back.
You know, it may be crazy, but we're gonna do it. The Dueling Cavalier is now a musical. Hot dog! Hallelujah! Fellas, I feel this is my lucky day, March 23rd.
Oh, no, your lucky day's the 24th.
What do you mean the 24th?
It's 1:30 already. It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
We've talked the whole night through.
good morning,
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning.
good morning to you.
When the band began to play, the stars were shining bright.
Now the milkman's on his way. It's too late to say goodnight.
So good morning. Good morning. Sunbeams will soon smile through. Good morning.
Good morning to you and you and you and you. Good morning, good morning. We've gabbed the whole night through. Good morning to
Nothing
you.
could be grander than to be in Louisiana
In the morning, in the morning, it's great to stay up late. Good morning to
Might be
you.
just as zippy if we was in Mississippi.
When we left the movie show, the future wasn't bright, but came the dawn. The show goes on, and I don't want to say goodnight.
Don't say good morning.
Good morning,
Rainbows are shining through.
good morning,
Good morning.
bonjour,
Monsieur.
buenos dias,
Gutes Frias.
buongiorno,
Buongiorno.
good morning,
Gutes Morgen.
good morning to you.
Welcome back. This is Heidi Hardy. I'm the host of Art and Stage Talk Radio. We're very excited to have you today. I'm here in the studio with Tracy Jordan and Milana Murphy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being our guest today.
It's been great. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's exciting to learn more about you and your career. We were talking right before the break that your kids are into tap and they love it. Anyone who's aspiring out there right now and they love it as well, or they have a child that loves it. And we talk about this all the time. I don't think you're ever too old to pick up something that
Never.
you want. You maybe you have a talent for, but you've never really explored it. So talk to those people. What advice would you give them to get into, do more of this that they've discovered that they really enjoy?
Yeah, you can find a class any and everywhere these days.
Okay.
Even in Kansas City.
Even Kansas City, yes. But yeah, I mean, we have, for instance, like at my festival, we have a class called the Riff Raff class. It is for 6 to 9 year olds. You might find a 35-year-old in there as well. So it's never too late. Tap dancing is one of those things that everybody loves. It's not like you have to. We're not having to do the splits or anything like that. So everybody at some level can take part in it, and they just usually love the musicality of it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you're going to teach me, not
Yes.
Tracy, because he's a pro, a couple of steps. And after the next break, which will be very exciting because I've never tapped before.
Yeah.
So if I can do it,
Oh, yes. Oh,
anybody
yes.
can do it. Well, we'll see if I can do it. I'm not sure. It would be fun to take a couple lessons from you. Well, thank you. No, that's great advice for people is just go find a class and
They're everywhere.
Get started.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
started. Well, speaking of classes and events and all kinds of exciting things in the world of tap, Rhythm Infusion Festival.
Yes.
Tell us more.
Riff Tap Festival. Yeah. So I founded this festival because all of the big cities across the nation have tap festivals. And New York has them, New Jersey, LA even, Chicago. And I kept complaining, why don't we have a tap festival? This is Dallas, Texas. We should have a tap festival. And I finally looked around and said, oh, maybe I should do something about that. So I did. And so at this festival, I put together what I have dreamt of, what I would want. And so we have history classes, we have music theory classes, we have technique classes, we have improv classes. We have just every type of class you can think of. And then I have outlets for the kids to perform so they can do their solo in front of the faculty. And it's kind of like a So You Think kind of style.
Nice.
So the faculty, right after they perform, gives them feedback on what they thought they could improve upon, what they loved. It's a great opportunity because this faculty is world renowned. We have a concert, so there's outlets for that. There's a lot of things that the kids get to do while they're there. We have a jam session. So I have these musicians that come in. They're called the Diamond Kings, and they jam in a big circle with the kids, and they all take turns, and it's called trades. They do trading. And to be in a room with kids that are from literally all across the nation and Canada and Mexico, tapping together, it's beautiful. I mean, it's quite a moment.
It's a 4-day event.
4-day event.
So from the beginning to the end, lots
Sore feet
Packed.
and lots of Band-Aids.
full of activity.
Yes.
I'm really interested to know. Tell us about some of these international tap dancers that you're
Yeah.
bringing in.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. So, Chloe Arnold. A lot of people know her because she's on TV everywhere these days. She's been on So You Think. She has a company called the Syncopated Ladies, and they've performed everywhere, including Dubai and South America. She's really putting tap in a global perspective for people, and I admire her greatly. I have Sarah Reich, who's with PMJ, Postmodern Jukebox, and she does her own stuff too. Are you aware of Postmodern Jukebox?
I'm not.
Oh
So
They're-
my
they're
gosh.
I have to go to
They're
YouTube
very
right
neat.
away and check
Yeah.
them out.
Check 'em out.
They
Okay.
do, yeah. They take current music and put it to some jazzy kind of swing music. So it's really cool. I have Diane Walker, who will make an appearance, who is that all the tappers today refer to her as Auntie Diane. She is the link from the late greats to the contemporaries of today. And so she worked with all of these people. People would know Gregory Hines.
Yes.
And then she also worked and trained Savion, which everyone knows Savion. Happy feet, everyone. So she's just super fabulous. Who else? I have a body percussionist. He's coming in.
I saw that. Now, what is a body percussionist?
Okay. I'm not very good at this, but
Okay.
they use their hands. They slap their face. It's amazing the music that they make with just their body.
So they don't have any music.
No.
They're actually making music for their body.
He is his own
Oh,
instrument.
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have that. I have Derek Grant, who I'm so excited that he's coming. I think it's a huge coup that I've got him coming. He was in Broadway's Bring Into Noise, Bring Into Funk
With Savion.
with Savion. So I have 20 guest artists
Wonderful.
coming in. So yeah.
Wow. Well, I was impressed because this is sold out in some forms.
The classes,
and very
yes.
few tickets are left. So tell us how to get from this sounds exciting, I can't wait to be there, to getting their tickets and getting them set up.
Well, you can always go to my website, www.rhythminfusion.com, and I have a ton of information just on the festival and all the events. But for the concert that's coming up, which is called Tap Into Tap, we do have tickets, and that's on ticketdfw.com.
Okay.
And there's still a few tickets left for that concert, which is January 14th at the Wiley. And that is going to be out of this world. So at my concert, I have the professionals performing, but I also have youth groups that I've invited from across the nation. So I have youth groups from Dallas, of course, Houston, LA, New Jersey, and a couple from DC. And these kids, because I think it's really important, I've trained kids for decades, but I want to give them an outlet to be able to do something with all this training. So it's important to me that I have this concert and allow them to be on the same stage as some of these amazing, great professionals.
You bet. You bet. So they learn and
They take class from them, and then they get to go and be a part of the concert.
how long have you been doing the festival?
This is our third year, believe it or not.
Congratulations.
It's still a baby.
And it's already one of the largest in the country.
It's big. Every year we grow by 50%. I mean, it's wonderful. There's a need. There's definitely a need, and I believe in bringing in quality instructors, and it's a beautiful thing. I just love it.
So you have said, that you do more than one job. This is probably the biggest thing that you're focused on.
Yeah.
Do you teach full time
I
somewhere?
do. So as Tracy said, he has his day job. Us dance teachers call that our night job. So I'm the tap director at Next Step Dance in Frisco.
Okay.
So that takes up a lot of my time. I love that job. I just started this year teaching a tap program at Booker T. So they have a program there now. And that's, I have these deja vu moments while I'm teaching, and my student and my teacher, I still have those little moments, but to be able to teach there it's a joy because I get to teach tap history. I get to teach improv. I get to do a little bit more than what I can do in the time constraints of a studio. So I love that. And then there's my festival.
Yeah.
That's my baby.
Well, for those of us, so you've said tap history a couple of times, and for those of us, I know I have kind of a blank look sometimes because I'm not, I haven't been following it that much. Give us a little bit of tap history that if I wanted to know more, I could go and learn more about it. But tell us the history part.
Well, it's our original American art form. This was born here in America, and so I think that in itself needs to be celebrated a little bit more. But it was a blend of two cultures. It was the Irish and the African American cultures coming together. There's a huge history on all of that. And what I've gotten to do is teach the kids what happened in the beginning, how it kind of fell apart, and how it got put back together. And one of the neat things is my kids had to write a paper on a contemporary tap professional. And I actually sent the papers to a few of the professionals to let them read, and they sent back notes. And the kids were thrilled. They just thought that was a super, super cool thing.
So it fell apart.
It did. It just kind of went by the wayside. The musicals kind of took over, and there was less tap dancing. There was more contemporary jazz and things like that going on, and tap just kind of took a back seat. And all the late greats were getting older, and they kind of had sat back and retired. And so then there was a group of women that got in, took those late greats, pulled them out, and said, teach me. And they're like, well, I'll show it to you. If you can learn it, you got it. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so a resurgence started coming back, especially in the 80s. And now it's bigger than it's ever been.
Well, I definitely enjoy the So You Think You Can Dance artists, because they are sort of that blend of hip hop dancer and
Yes.
Obviously they're talented tap dancers, and they seem just to have a little bit of everything blended in, and it's so entertaining.
Tap is one of those art forms that you don't have to be a connoisseur to enjoy and appreciate it. Tap dancing is something that if you're walking down the street and see somebody doing it, what they would be doing tapping on the street, I'm not sure. But
Singing in the rain, maybe.
wherever you may encounter it, it's just something that captures people's fascination and attention, and you'll always draw a crowd anytime you tap
Always.
dancing.
Well, you're musicians that move, so you're hitting a few senses at the same time. I totally agree. Everybody loves tap dancing.
Well, I just got back from New Orleans, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and they had the tap performers on the street, and they're fantastic. And you're right, I always stop and watch them, and they're talented, and some of them are very young as 4. I mean,
Yes.
they're really energetic and seem to be enjoying it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
It
definitely
is.
is.
It is.
Definitely is. Well, tell us more about the festival and.
You said it's going to be at the Wiley.
At the Wiley.
The concert is at the Wiley. I'm actually holding the classes at the Sheraton. And since it's at a hotel this year, I had to go to a hotel because I've expanded so much. I'm actually building floors. Well, they're built. About 4,000 square feet of wood flooring to be laid down in these ballrooms. Because, when you're at a hotel, there's carpet and there's that parquet stuff that nobody wants to tap on.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit of a tap shoe and tap floor snob, self-admitted. But I have a generous couple of friends that have built me these floors. Shane Hendricks and his father-in-law, Dennis, built these floors out of the goodness of their heart.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I have the best friends in the entire world. And so they're going to be taking those up, 37 floors, to the Sheraton and installing all those floors. I know.
So this is a big event. You have volunteers, you have people that are raising their hands,
yes.
saying,
Please,
how can I help?
How can I help?
Oh,
the
that's
tap
awesome.
world is it's really we call it the tap family. And everybody just wants to chip in and help. And that's the way it goes around. I know we're expecting about 200 dancers coming in and taking classes. So it requires a lot of help. And yes, I have people email me, texting me, how can I help? I can volunteer. Let me know.
That's fantastic.
They're all just so grateful that somebody took the time and effort.
Yeah.
Thank you, Milana, to put something together like this. And you're right, and you're doing your own part in keeping that flame going and helping to bring tap to a wider audience and keep it in the spotlight. That's one thing I admired about Gregory Hines. Tap over the years, Heidi, you have to understand, has ebbed and flowed, waxed and waned in its popularity in the pop culture. And back in the 70s, Gregory was a young performer on Broadway and being noticed in shows like Eubie. And back around that time, Irene had opened on Broadway, and it was in the old style of tap musicals from the 20s, and was this huge success nobody expected. So Gregory really took it upon himself back then to, and he really had the missionary spirit about it, to bring that back and through different tap specials on PBS and projects that he
Yes.
worked on. He really was instrumental in that, and you're in your own way doing the same thing now. So I've got to
Yes.
take my hat off to you.
Oh, well, thanks.
It's
Well,
vision. You have this vision, and you put it into an event for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a passion. It truly is. And the founders of tap dancers, our founders were innovators. They created something that no one had done this, no one had seen this, and so Gregory was very instrumental in taking tap dancing and pushing it past where it had ever thought to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to showcase too at the festival, because a lot of times people think tap, they think Broadway, they think 42nd Street, which is huge, but it's so much more. We've got tap dancers that tap to classic rock. We have contemporary tap dancers where it looks more like a contemporary piece. So they have hip hop tap. I mean, it's exploded, and it's pushing past the barriers. So I like to think that we honor the traditions of the past and we learn from them, but our founders would want us to keep innovating and moving it forward. So I'm pretty passionate about that.
I love it. It's a great story. It's a really great story, and it sounds
Yes.
like you're helping a lot of people and keep their passion strong, especially here in the North Texas area, because we're not. I mean, obviously, we're a big metropolitan area with a lot of art and a lot of stage performances, but we're not LA or New York. So sometimes you have to have somebody like you with a vision that can bring it to the community. So
Thank you.
congratulations!
Thank you.
Well, give it a plug one more time. Tell everybody the location, dates, times.
Yes, Rhythm Infusion Festival, short RIF. You can go to www.rhythminfusion.com to find out more information. The dates are January 13th through the 16th. It will be at the Sheraton downtown. The concert is at the Wiley, Tap Into Tap. Tickets at ticketdfw.com. We still have a few left, but you might not want to wait too long.
And you do this every year, and the reason I mention that is this show is on demand, and we want people to watch the show over and over again. So when if they miss this event, then for sure you'll have something out about next year's event.
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, yes. We do this every Martin Luther King holiday weekend.
Okay.
So it's the 4-day event every year.
Wonderful. I think we have just a few more seconds. Tracy, do you want to go ahead and
Yeah,
give
just
plug to
a
one of our
couple of
sponsors?
things. We wanted to remind everyone that Danielle Georgiou's dance group is premiering a new work called Warflower, January 19th through the 28th at the Bathhouse Cultural Center. It'll be at 8:00. Tickets are $15, and you can find out more information and purchase tickets through their website, which is dgdancegroup.com. That's Danielle Georgiou's dance group, Warflower, January 19th through the 28th at the Bathhouse Cultural Center.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Every life we have some problems. When we go, we make it find the one way. Be happy.
Okay, this is Tracy Jordan with Art and Stage, and tonight we have with us Milana Murphy, and she has promised to teach my lovely co-host Heidi Hardy a few tap steps. So without further ado, we're going to throw it over to them, and ladies.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to teach you. All right. So it's the shim sham. So that's like our traditional step. All tap dancers know it. I'm going to give you the faux because it's a lot easier. Okay. You can all would. All right. So what we're going to do is we're on the count of 8. We're going to go out and in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. There you go. Now we're going to do the other side. Hey, 5. Go to this right, left. 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do the right. And we're going to put it behind us and come back again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
That's
a
tricky.
little tricky right there.
Okay, okay.
Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, back and front again. So right, left, right, right.
Okay. Okay.
Right, left,
okay,
right,
okay.
right. We got this.
All right,
5,
okay.
6, 7, 8, 1. Left, 2, 3. Right, 2 times. Hey, girl, you got it.
Okay, wait, so
Yay.
that was the faux shim sham?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Let's do it.
well, this much of it.
Okay.
Yes. 5. You want a little faster?
Yeah, a little
5,
faster.
6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Woo!
Yay! Okay.
Woo! Yeah.
By Jove, I think she's got it.
I know. I think we're good. Yeah.
All right, one more time.
All right.
Let's do this.
Left side now.
Oh, we're doing left
I'm a
side. Okay.
teacher. You always have to go to the left. So
Okay.
now just the left foot goes first.
Okay.
5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Left foot 2 times. Oh, girl, you got it. Right and left. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left, left and right. Right and out. Left 2 times. Here we go. Bum,
Good.
bum, 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 bum. Yay.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Well done,
Thank
well
you.
done.
I think I need a lot more practice, but that was a lot of fun.
It's a start, right? It's a start.
Milana Murphy.
Thank you.
Brilliant. She got. I got it right a little bit at that.
You did. That was perfect.
We're
Good
gonna go to
job.
a break real fast, and we'll come back.
And we'll be right back right after this.
Awesome.
Looking back on when I was a little nappy-headed boy. And your best to bring that water to your eye. Thinking it might stop her from whipping you behind. I miss those days. Good. Come back once more. Wipe it through shame. Yeah. There have to go 'cause I love them so.
Welcome back to Art and Stage Talk Radio. There's a lot of
People are
shim
running
shamming
around
going
here
on.
like mad.
And I'm a little sweaty from all the dancing, the wonderful dancing.
Good, yeah.
But that was
It's glistening, ladies and gentlemen. Glistening.
Savion with the Happy Feet guy there. So a lot of, Milana,
Yes.
sorry. A lot of people associate Happy Feet with tapping,
Yeah.
because it's so much fun to watch. So that's another, I guess, example of it coming to the mainstream and more people
Yes.
being interested in understanding the art.
Yeah, the industry has really just embraced it lately, so it's been great to see it more and more.
Yeah, well, we don't have this last part of the show, so what I like to do is ask, where is it going? Because we talk about the past a little bit, and we talk about the present, what's happening soon in the next couple of weeks. But as the visionary that you are, where do you see TAP going?
I see it going where it's never been. I have people that I know that are developing shows that take tap to different levels of experience. So I love the contemporariness of where it's going. I think that there are no boundaries.
So what you're saying that we're going to tap where no man has tapped before.
Yes, I love it. I love it.
So just continue to foster those kids with their talent and.
Yes, actually, after I finish here, I'm going to go teach a tap class.
Oh wow, you are a busy lady. Wow, so your day's not over.
It is not. It is not. No, just keep teaching those kids. Yeah,
Well,
I love it.
I tell my students, look, if you're if you are aspiring to work in the theater, if you sing and dance and act, you're going to work 3 times as much as someone who sings or dances or acts.
Yes.
But the fact that I, and God bless my mother for putting me in tap shoes when I was 2, like you did with yours, about the time I could walk, she put me in tap shoes, and I've just always done it. And the fact that I could has gotten me more work in my career because so many folks don't.
Right. And
So-
it can be the difference of getting that job.
Yeah.
Everybody makes it past a certain part of the audition. They say, okay, go put your tap shoes on. The eyes get really big. Yeah. So it's very beneficial. Yeah.
Well, Tracy, you are a talented guy. You had a video out that on Facebook, social media, and I watched it over. It was really fun.
Oh, that was my demo reel I put up.
Yeah. So it's fun to have so much talent in the room.
Well, looks aren't everything.
Well, we won't make your head any bigger. No, you have to have a lot of, courage to get up in front of people and perform the way you guys do.
Or
So-
total lack of couth, one or the other.
Yeah, one of the two. I know. But I encourage everyone to, even if you don't tap dance, support it. Get out there, find it, find shows, find avenues that you can, because, oh my goodness, it's an American art form. And I encourage you to seek it out. I'll do my best to get as much out as I possibly can, because the festival is just a start of what I want to do. So hopefully I'll bring a lot more to the Dallas area.
Wonderful. Tracy, one of the things that, because of all the activity, we didn't thank our third sponsor.
Well, I was getting to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun on that.
But if you think now is a good time, I'll have at it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's give them.
We're thrilled to have as another one of our sponsors, Dance Sport Training Center. Parents, if you're looking for an after-school ideas for your children, what about an activity that improves their social skills, their ability to work well with others, and helps them to learn how to effectively communicate with their peers, all while being cost-effective to you, and I might add, a wonderfully athletic form of training as well. At Dance Sport Training Center, they focus on developing your child in the genre of competitive ballroom dance. Their youth program is 3 days a week after school at their training center. Each day consists of 90 minutes of training in both ballroom and Latin disciplines. They offer a facility where you can drop off your child and the flexibility for the parent to either stay and watch the class from their lounge, get some work done in their library, or run those many errands that pile up during the week. For your youth, they focus on their knowledge of ballroom dance and music theory. Since our genre involves dancing with a partner, from the beginning, your child will learn how to work with another person and how to communicate better in a team scenario as they work towards their goal of ballroom dancing. And about your pocketbook, well, they're offering the first semester for all new students free. That's right, a chance to introduce your youth to the competitive side of ballroom dance with no tuition. Spring semester starts January 9. That's just around the corner, so get your child registered now as spaces are limited. They can be reached at 214-600-9171 or by email at info@dancesporttc.com for questions and more details. We can't wait to get started with your child, so call them now. Dance Sport Training Center is a proud member and sponsor of the Dance Council of North Texas.
They every time I hear that, I think about the opportunity to take the kids for free that first semester and giving them an opportunity to see if they like it, and I have this vision of kids, getting shy at first, but then really enjoying it and finding that might be what they been meant to do.
And when those young guys learn that they get to hold the girls and dance with them. Wow, that puts a different twist on things.
Well, I have an 8-year-old grandson, and he is a doll. My son and his wife, at 4 or 5, kids start to get a little bit. They start to branch out in their interests, and one of the things that they started him in was karate. They thought that he'd be interested in that. So I guess my question, and the reason I bring that up, is you've got a 4 or 5-year-old. They've got a lot of energy, and they even show some talent in that dance space. They watched Happy Feet, and they're mimicking that. What are those first things that you would do to foster that? And obviously, I know there's some classes, but is it put them in front of some shows? Are there?
Take them to see a show.
Okay.
Definitely. Because that's when you'll find out. These kids will sit there and just be mesmerized. But take them and expose them to that. Then take them to a class. And all these studios around here will give you a class for free. If you want to try out a class, you can always do that. But yeah, I would encourage take them to a show and then get them in a class. See if they like it.
Yeah. I know it's exciting when they're so young and they have so much energy and pointing them in the right direction.
Well, and no inhibitions at that age.
That's right. I know.
They're not worried about, what will people think of me? People are looking at me. When they're young like that, they're totally uninhibited. So it's a perfect time for them to just throw them in it and let them run with it.
Right, and it's an activity because I believe in keeping our kids engaged in positive activities, and so it's a way to keep them engaged. It's physical, so it expends that energy. It's very mental. Doing tap dancing is a little bit like solving math problems, but we're kind of the math geeks of the dance world, so we like that. But it's, I think that's really important. I've raised one daughter and I have another one, and, they grew up in a dance studio, so they had a lot of exposure to just having work ethic. They learn work ethic. They learn how to work in a constructive way. It's just a really positive experience.
Yeah.
And we're talking about kids, but I have enjoyed over the years working with beginning adult tap students who come into the class thinking, there's just no way I'm going to be able to do this. And before long, you can show them how by breaking. There is an art and a craft to how to teach an adult, and it's frequently different from how you teach a child.
Yes.
And those communication skills are different. And I definitely have it for the adults and not so much the children. But and I admire those folks who do. But to be able to work with those folks and it would be the same at a ballroom class as a tap class. To take someone, or throwing a ball if you're working with them in athletics, and teach them something they thought, I have no aptitude for this. Well, yeah, I tell everybody, look, tap dancing is like walking down the street. You can walk down the street, can't you? Mm-hmm. Weight transition is the same.
Yes.
If you can do one, you can do the other.
Well, I have a background in health and wellness, and so I taught group exercise for years, and that the other side, and we've kept mentioned this a few times. We only have a few minutes, but we mentioned this a few times, how athletic this is. Mm. So how many times? When you're a tapper at the caliber that you are, how often do you practice? Are you practicing every day? What does that look like?
Every damn day.
Yes.
Every damn day.
I take one day off. Actually, I teach 6 days a week.
Okay.
And so I am honing my skills actually as I'm teaching. So it's very physical. People say, "Wow, you must work out," and I go, "No, I tap dance." So when I get
Same
off,
thing.
when I get done with work, the last thing I want to do is go work out. So I sit on the couch. That's my favorite thing to do. But it's very physical. It's very aerobic too. But it's very physical. Hence the knee.
Well, my teacher that I mentioned earlier when I grew up with, Buster Cooper, he was teaching 3 classes a week when he was 91.
Yes.
And danced up until the week before he passed away. And I am absolutely convinced it is what kept him
Yes.
young. And I plan on dancing until I'm 91.
Yes. I think that's great.
Well, I think, again, when you bring it back to, from a performer's standpoint, I mean, they need to go to this event and they need to see all these wonderful instructors and performances. But if there is someone who, is looking for an opportunity to do something physical, do something that they enjoyed maybe in the past. Maybe they were tapping when they were young and they want to come back to it. It sounds like it's could be a lot of fun and great
Yes.
exercise.
It is. It is. And I promise you, I mean, I love what I do. So come take a class from me because I promise you you'll have a good time and you'll learn something in the process. But yeah.
So how would somebody do that? I mean, they're watching and they're
You
writing it
bet.
down.
So I am the tap director at Next Step Dance, and it's in Frisco.
Okay.
And they have their website, nextstepperformingarts.com, I believe is what it is. But you can always Google us. I teach every day except for Wednesday. So, and the person that teaches my tap classes on Wednesday was my student. So, you'll get a little piece of me at the same time that way too. But yes, Next Step Dance in Frisco.
Awesome. And so also give us, we're running down the time.
Yes.
This show goes so fast. And so give us how to get more information about the festival.
Sure. Riff, you can find rhythminfusion.com. I have all the information about the classes, the guest artists, what's going on, what's happening. And then tickets for the concert Tap into Tap is ticketdfw.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Tracy, we've got a few seconds left. Do you want to?
Heidi, I'll just remind everyone, if you get to the end of the program and you think, oh, darn, I forgot. What was that? I can't remember. If you can't remember hers, just go to the dancecouncil.org, thedancecouncil.org, and you can find a listing for studios there. You can find a listing for the Riff Tap Festival there, and a lot of other fantastic dance-related things that are going on throughout the Metroplex. TheDanceCouncil.org.
Yeah, and I want to give the Dance Council a quick plug, too, because one of the reasons why we're here today is because we have wonderful sponsors, but we also have the heart to bring the community more information, more wonderful visionaries like yourself that have gotten out there and done something that they're passionate about, and just more great stories about the art and stage community.
And could you possibly be teasing something we're going to be bringing very soon called Heart for the Arts?
That is a good tease. It's a good play. Yes. So you have to stay tuned to our show. We've got some really exciting guests coming and shows that are around the corner. So thank you for listening and watching.
And remember, you can always catch it again on ondemand.com, right?
It's
I was close. Close. Very close.
watchonairlive.com
Watch
or Dance
On Air
Council.
Live.
Yeah. It was fun because I had
or dancecouncil.org. You'll find the link there on the Dance Council site.
absolutely. You can catch the whole show as quickly as tomorrow. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you, Milana.
Thank
we'll
you.
be back next week and have a great evening.
We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning.